Welcome back, everybody, to the PSGL YouTube channel. Today we are here for the PSGL F5 Championship. This is round 2 of the season, and we are ready to go for the first time ever in Miami. So here we are at the Miami International Autodrome, and this is the 19-turn circuit, and it's also 3.3 miles long. There's also 3 DRS zones to help encourage overtaking for around here. One down the pit straight. It's a very short DRS, but there is going to be an opportunity to go down the inside or around the outside at turn 1. But the best place to make an overtake is going to be down into turn 17, as that is going to be a long straight, and we're going to see a lot of speeds into that sort of hairpin of the track. So with the details aside, let's get into the race here today for the Miami Grand Prix here in PSGL. We are here for the PS Division, and we're here for the second round of Season 31's F5 Division. We got a lot of drivers out on the grid, and we got a very intense qualifying session. And of course, we are here for the first time ever this season in Miami. It is so awesome to be commentating on this historic track since it's only been here for one round. It's not really as historic, but the first round definitely made it historic. So we got a lot of drivers out on track. Pretty much the entire field's out on track. A very intense race last time in Austria as well. F5 started off with a bang in the Red Bull Ring, and we had Victor winning that one. It was a very commanding victory by the Aston Martin driver. The question now is, will he continue to win the race here in Miami? Will he go for back-to-back victories and start off the season with 2 wins in a row to continue leading the championship? Well, we'll find out when we come to the end of the stream. But in case you're wondering, I'm Former the Jonah, your commentator for the F5 division and for round 2 as well. Our sponsors for this season and for this race are Grid Rival and GT Omega, so definitely make sure you check out all of the content that they provide down in the description down below. But yeah, we're here at Miami in Florida as we prepare for the Miami Grand Prix. As I said, there's multiple different overtaking opportunities, and the best place is going to be down into turn 17, and another great opportunity for drivers to make an overtake would be on this particular straight where we see the Haas of Lars coming into, and that's going to be down into this really nice section right here. So expect a lot of overtakes around this track, and particularly into that turn and turn 17 at the hairpin. So I think Lars is one of our first drivers to set lap times as he comes through the tricky turn 13 and 14 and all those sections right there, as he's actually purple in the second sector, so looking pretty strong is the Haas driver coming down the back straight now, that most powerful DRS zone. Into turn 17 we come. And this is also a traction zone as well, so Lars is going to come to the line. We have Smalley that goes fastest overall at 127.4. What about Lars? He comes to the line now. What's this lap going to be? It is a 127.0, and he is clear of Smalley by 0.4 of a second. Very quick lap time there from the Haas car. We're going to see some more lap times coming in. I think Catterson is coming around the final couple of corners in the Williams. He had a great lap in, I want to say, Austria. I think he qualified 5th or 6th. Don't quote me on that, as Luca goes fastest overall. Catterson goes 4th with a 127.6. So Luca has just gone into the 126s. So we're already seeing some pretty quick lap times from these drivers here today. A 126.987 is the fastest lap. Slash goes 3rd in the AlphaTauri, as he was purple in the 3rd sector as well. Now, I do want to mention, this is going to be interesting for downforce levels, because you have Sector 1, as Slash is coming through that section right now, where you want a lot of downforce because of this very quick turns, very difficult turns as well to get completely right. But then again, you also have long straights, like that long straight down to turn 17, and the long straight down to turn 11 as well. So DRS is going to be critical as well, and downforce levels, you have to get those perfectly correct, because Sector 1 and that tricky turn 13 and 14 section, that's where you're going to need really high downforce, but on the straights, you're going to need low downforce as well. So expect some different setups, some different downforce levels from some drivers. But yeah, there is a few changes as well. We have some reserve drivers coming in to fill the seats for some drivers that weren't able to make the races. Vince, in particular, in the McLaren, is third now, and he is reserving for the McLaren team. I do believe Backy is also reserving for the McLaren team, as both the full-time drivers weren't able to make the race. But that is quite all right. I'm sure they'll be joining us in the next round as we see another driver go faster. I do believe that was Trappy Formula in the second Williams, who goes fifth fastest. Now, Williams, they need a good result. I think they showed some strong pace in Austria, and I think they're going to be kind of a dark horse during this season. Trappy Formula and Catterson, very quick drivers, very good pairing right there at the British Williams team, so I expect them to do quite well. Now, Trappy Formula's got a 127.335. He is in the top 5 by just a few 100ths of a second, so the Williams driver will need to set an even better lap time if he's able to keep in the top 5. Because I'm assuming there's going to be some more quicker lap times coming in. I'm also curious to see what Victor can do. Of course, the winner from the last race in Austria, he's going to need another commanding result here today if he's going to be able to continue to lead the championship. I think he's going to have some fierce competition. I think Luca is going to be a driver going for his first win this season. And we'll see if the Red Bull driver is going to be able to get up there. But Victor is going to be going out on his lap. He's currently on an out lap coming down that back straight. And he's weaving up the tires, getting ready for his lap here around the Miami Autodrome circuit. And we'll see what he can do. But yeah, love Miami, absolutely amazing city, and awesome to see the racing come to Miami as well, as we have another race in America in the real Formula One World Championship, and in 2023 we'll see the addition of the Las Vegas Grand Prix as well, so we'll be heading to Vegas for F1, making it the third F1 race on the calendar, which is absolutely going to be exciting. Let's take it on board with Victor, the winner from the Austrian Grand Prix. He comes through that tricky first couple of corners and onto a little bit of a straight. This is going to be up to around 7th. You want to make sure you push it to 7th, not go into 8th as you come through the S section. And this is going to be a very, very difficult point because the car is going to throw itself to the right, and that's where you can get invalidation pretty easily. You want to get right between the curb like Victor does right here in the Aston Martin, coming down that straight now, the DRS zone into 9, into 10. And this is where the DRS is going to be activated as well, as Victor is now coming through the turn 11. This is going to be a great place to make an overtake as well, as we'll see a lot of side-by-side action. A long right-hander and up the hill for one of the most trickiest points on any Formula One calendar, any Formula One race. That is the tricky chicane under the bridge, and he's going to come out into turn 16 onto that long straight. Now this is where we're going to see the top speeds reach a max here today at Miami, and we're also going to see a very low-speed corner as well. So high speeds to low speeds very quickly. Into 17 we go with Victor, and he's going to rotate the car very nicely. Traction zone right here. Don't get too close to the wall, as you can hit the wall. Thankfully, Victor didn't get any damage from that, I don't think, as he comes to the line now, goes 6th fastest for the Aston Martin driver, 127.2. So only in the top 6 for Victor. Now, are we going to see him go faster? We will find out. He didn't qualify on pole position last time out in Austria. Will we see him go into the top 3, maybe even taking his first pole position this season? We'll have to find out. Now, I would expect a few more laps from these drivers. Of course, this is still early days for the qualifying session, even though we have gone into around the 10-minute mark of this session. I can't really see it right now because we have the Sector 3 yellow flag. There it goes. It has disappeared now, and we see that there is 8 minutes and 30 seconds remaining of the qualifying session. So there still is some time for, I'd say, maybe 1 to 2 more laps of new tires. Of course, you can go for a little bit more laps, but the degradation is going to be quite high for around here, especially with those soft compound tires. So we'll see. I expect Victor to probably come into the pit lane, get ready to put a tire on, and then maybe go for one more lap. But I do see some comments coming in that says, come on, Slash, definitely, let's go, Slash. He's in P5. You know, he's doing quite well in the AlphaTauri. He's currently got a 127.1. And Slash could be up there. I think the AlphaTauri driver could be up there. I'd guess for him like a P5, P6, because I expect like Victor to probably improve on his time. But who knows? I mean, Slash, very quick driver. We saw from the previous race in Austria. I think he got some bad luck in that race, but still showed that he had some great pace. So I expect he'll bounce back even quicker here today in Miami. He's already showing that as he sets that time. We see a McLaren, I do believe, come across the line. I do believe that was Backy as he now goes into P5, pushes Slash down to 6th. Smalley now goes 7th, and there goes Sanvudia in the AlphaTauri, who goes 8th ahead of Victor. And now we see Mosey in the Ferrari go fastest overall, and he beats Luca's time by around 0.3 of a second. Very quick lap time from the Scuderia Ferrari driver. So Mosey goes quickest overall with a 1:26, and that is an impressive lap from the Ferrari driver. We could see him taking pole positions today, and that might be the pole lap for the Ferrari driver here in Miami. Now, I do want to mention before we continue on, if you guys are new to PSGL, please make sure to subscribe to the channel. That would hugely help us out and expand the channel as well. So definitely subscribe if you want to see more content on the league, as this is not the only division that we cover. We also cover loads of PlayStation divisions and PC divisions as well. It's one of the biggest leagues out there, and definitely something worth of subscribing to. Also, if you're enjoying the commentary and enjoying the racing so far, please make sure to subscribe. Please make sure to like the video as well. That would be much appreciated towards me and the PSGL as well. And send in your comments of support to all our drivers, and if you have any questions as well, please let us know down in the comments section. But yeah, we have about 5 or so minutes remaining of this qualifying, so we still have time for drivers to set some pretty quick lap times. I expect some drivers to go into like the 126.4s, somewhere around there. We could see a lap time around there. That's kind of what I'm guessing for pole position today. But you know, Mosey might have this one. He might just have this one. That 126.6 is a very quick lap time from the Ferrari driver. However, with the track warming up, we have Luca going fastest in the first sector, and this is exactly who I wanted to talk about, because that Red Bull driver is going even faster. A 126.9 is his current lap time, but if he's able to improve by around 4 to 5/10 of a second, then he might just have pole position here today in Miami. So, round the final couple of corners we come before that DRS zone, the very tricky chicane. Under the bridge we go, and into 16, Luca is going to exit very nicely, gets very close to the wall to the right, but has a very good exit out of turn 16. Purple in the second sector. Luca's absolutely flying out there. First and second sector is purple for Luca. Can he ace the third sector and go fastest overall? We're about to find out, as Bas Bremer now goes into second position now, a 126.7, so he puts it on the front row, but Luca is going to deny him as he comes to the line now. Can he put it on pole position? It is only P2 for the Red Bull driver. Luca is only second on the grid. It was close, but it looked like he just lost a little bit of time into sector 3, so Mosey's lap continues on as the pole position lap, or the current pole sitter. So Mosey is still on pole position for this race, but can Luca improve? Let's find out. He currently has a 126.721. He needs to improve by around 0.2 of a second to be able to beat Mosey's lap time. Let's find out if he's going to be able to do this. And Bas Bremer, very good lap time from him as well, puts it into the 126s. He's down to third, but I think he's going to be looking to improve on that time. I think he's trying to make it back to the pit lane to put on a fresh new set of soft compound tires to be able to go out again and challenge for pole position. So it looks like everybody else is in the pit lane. There's still a few drivers out on track. We see a McLaren of Vince coming around 17 now into 18 and 19. He's going to start his lap in the McLaren. Actually, he doesn't start his lap. He completes his lap as the McLaren goes forth ahead of Lars and into the 126. He joins the 126's club and a very good lap time from the McLaren driver there. McLaren looking strong as always, even though these two drivers have not raced for the team yet this season, as both full-time drivers are out. But the reserve drivers, they're putting up some pace right now. I mean, 4th and 6th position on the grid. That is a very, very good benchmark for these guys, showing that they are very good drivers for a full-time seat potentially. But yeah, very good lap times from both drivers, and hopefully they can keep these positions. Another team that's going well is AlphaTauri, currently P7, P9 right now with Slash and Sanvudia, as both drivers are in the top 10, looking pretty strong. So let's see what they can do. Now, another driver I want to talk about is Victor, who's coming out of the pit lane now. And the reason why I'm mentioning him is because he was the winner from the last time, out in Austria. So Victor could be, I mean, hopefully he's going to be up in the top 5, but I don't know. I mean, his pace hasn't really showed that he's going up in the top 5, but of course that could change because he's only set, I think, 1 lap in this session so far. So we'll see what happens here, but he's warming up the tires, getting ready for his final lap time. I think the only driver in the pit lane is Trappy Formula, who's now coming out on track, so that means every single driver is out on track. Now, I want to keep an eye on the top 3. These are the drivers that we're watching out for in these race. So we'll find out. Mosey warming up those tires, getting ready for his final push lap. Luca also getting ready for his lap. Same with Bas Bremer. And there's also the possibility that these 3 might not even be in the top 3 because anyone else can improve on their times. I think Lars is going out on his lap time, so I expect a few more drivers to set some quicker lap times. So we could see any of these drivers on pole position. So Lars is coming through the S section now. He's coming through turn 5, turn 6, and that tricky turn 7 as well. That is a very difficult corner for these drivers as the car wants to throw itself wide. You're going to get a lot of understeer as well if you're running a lower downforce setup. And I find that is one of the most trickiest corners on the track just because I get a lot of understeer since I run a lower downforce setup for around here. As Vince retires from the session, he believes he is done for the time being and he will start P4 on the grid. Lars is coming through that tricky turn 12, 13, 14 section of the track. He's going to come through 16 now. Very good into that tight chicane. He's going to come down the straight. This is where we're going to see the power engage as we see, I do believe, Smalley improve on his time. He's going to go P6 at best. So very good lap time for the Alfa Romeo driver. Next driver to come across the lap time should be Catterson in the Williams. Watch out for him. He is currently coming across the line now, and he improves to go P9. Very good lap time from Catterson. As Lars is next to come across the line, as we were running on board with him for the time being. He stays P5 at best, so we will start P5 unless anyone else can improve on their times. Backy coming through 17 and 18 now. Let's see what he can do. The reserve driver for McLaren goes into the top 5. Very good lap time from Backy and puts the 2 McLarens both into the top 5. Very good lap times there. Meanwhile, Luca has retired from the session, so he's starting 2nd at best. But can Bas Bremer deny Mosey of pole position here today in Miami? Will Alpine score pole here in Florida? Let's find out as Bas comes to turn 17 now. Can he improve? Mosey improves. Mosey improves to a 126.414. What about Bas Bremer now? Bas is coming to the line now. Currently P3. Can he go up pole? It is only 3rd. He is only in P3, and he's going to start on the 2nd row of the grid, so it is not pole position for Bas Bremer. He is going to be in 3rd position, and this does mean that Mosey will be on pole for Scuderia Ferrari unless any of the other drivers can improve on the times. Kev is the only other driver out on a lap. He is going to come across the line now, and he does not improve on his time, so this means that Mosey is on pole position for the Scuderia Ferrari team here in Miami. Samosi's on pole here in Miami, followed by Luca, and Bass Bremer completes the top 3. And I gotta say, the star drivers of this race, or of this qualifying session, was the 2 McLarens. The 2 reserve drivers for McLaren are P4 and P5. What a performance by them, and they will start both in the top 5, the only team to do so. So a very good lap time for both McLarens. Lars is P6, Smalley is P7 for Alfa Romeo, then it's the 2 AlphaTauris in 8th and 9th. Catterson splits the 2 AlphaTauris and goes P9 for the Williams team. That completes the top 10. And also, big shock, as the race winner from last time out in Austria, Victor, is P11 at best, so not the qualifying session that he would have wanted. And the question is now, what recovery drive can he do in this upcoming event? We will find out as we hit the checkered flag, but of course, we still have a long ways to go. We have many laps here in Miami. It's going to be an amazing race. I cannot wait for this one. Viewers, stay with us for this Grand Prix. It's going to be incredibly exciting. I cannot wait for the start here in Miami. We have a lot of talented drivers out on the grid, so I expect them all to do very well. Now, I do want to mention that our title sponsor for this season is GT Omega, so definitely if you guys could use the code PSGL at checkout on the GT Omega website, you guys can get 5% off GT Omega products, so definitely go check that out down in the description down below. But besides all the sponsorship and everything we have for this race, I'm sure everybody will be excited for the upcoming Grand Prix. Miami is coming up. But I do want to mention that we'll be having a lobby restart. The reason why we are doing this, and you can see everybody leaving right there as well. The reason why we're doing this is because of a lobby glitch that has been creeping into the PlayStation lobbies. It's something to do with the audio, where it kind of messes things up. That's why I wasn't able to do the interviews in the last race in Austria. But yeah, we have exited the lobby now, so we're going to be starting a new lobby. Our host will be setting that one up. And I'm just going to wait for the invite from our host. We should be getting that anytime soon. And then we will start the race. And this is just for security, just to make sure that we don't have any issues. So just bear with us for the moment as we're waiting for the invite. I will get that in a moment. But in the meantime, what can we expect from this race, viewers? I think we have a lot of quick drivers out on track. We do have a brand new track these drivers are visiting. This is the first time ever we are racing this. This is the first time Miami's been on the calendar in a season of PSGL. So it's awesome to see that. But because of that, that also means that that drivers will not have a ton of experience driving this phenomenal track here in Miami. So will we see some crashes? Will that allow some safety cars to come out on track? We will see. But at the same time, drivers have been practicing nonstop to get ready for this race, so I'm sure they already know the track by heart. So that's that. So now I'm just waiting for that invite, so give me a moment. Let me see if they got the lobby up real quickly. Give me a moment here. And there we go. There's the invite. Perfect. Right on cue. I'm just trying to join the session now. There we go. Okay, so as you can see, everybody is joining up. We are waiting for the Miami Grand Prix. 29 laps here at the Autodromo Miami circuit. I do believe it is the Miami International Autodromo circuit. That is the full pronunciation of the track itself. But yeah, it's awesome to see that PSGL has been able to add this this great circuit to the calendar. I'm sure a lot of these drivers before the season were hoping for this one to come. I think a lot of drivers were eager to have Miami on the calendar because it's a brand new circuit. It's the only brand new circuit we have on the F1 2022 game, as the 2022 season only had one new circuit come. So it's cool to see another circuit added to the F1 calendar, and in 2023 we could see some more added. And I think as of recording this, we just got confirmation on Portugal and possibly China joining the game as well. So that's awesome to see. We'll return to both of those iconic circuits. Alrighty, so I think we are about to get going. We have pretty much everybody in. I think these drivers are about to ready up, and we will get the cue to do so, and then we'll head straight into the 29 laps of the Miami Grand Prix. And while we are waiting for that, I do want to ask, who do you guys think is going to win this race? Let me know down in the comment section below, and I will try and respond to the comments if I get the chance to. In my opinion, I'm going to go for a quick prediction here since we have the time. See, that's the thing with this grid. It's so close together. It's so competitive that it's hard to predict who is going to be on top, because anybody could, really, realistically, anyone could. So it's really hard to say who will be winning this Grand Prix, but I'm going to go for a Luca win. I think Luca has got the potential to win this Grand Prix. He's definitely got the pace. So we'll see how this works out for Luca. I think Mosey is going to be P2. I think he's going to be in second position. And I'm going to go for a bit of a shock here. I'm going to say that Slash is going to get P3. I think he's going to go for the podium. But let's see how this all works out. That's just my prediction, so it probably won't happen since most of my predictions don't happen. But anyway, let's get into the racing here today. I got a lot of drivers, as I said, a lot of quick guys out there. Pretty much a full grid for this upcoming Miami Grand Prix, as it always is. Entertaining, and yeah, it's been awesome to commentate so far on such an iconic track. Even though it's only been here for one season in the real F1 grid, it's already made a stance as continuing on into the season, into future seasons as well for Formula One. But yeah, let's see how this all works out. Oh, that's a good this is a great opportunity to talk about standings. I do want to talk about that actually, because we have to talk about standings. Why not? It's a great opportunity to do so. So let me pull up the standings real quickly. Give me a moment here. All right, there we go. We got the standings up on our screen now. So, the leader of the standings is Victor in Aston Martin. So yeah, Victor's still leading the championship, of course, as he won the last race in Austria. Arrow is in P2 for the Haas team, as he'll be he's actually not here today. And Sergioli, another driver that is unable to make the races, in P3, followed by Luca, who is in this race today. So great to see that. And then Rick is P5. So that completes the top 5. Then we have Kattersid, Rudy, Vandenberg, Backy, and I do believe Trampy Formula. So those are the drivers in the top 10 for the championship. Now, a lot of them are actually not here today, so we could see a very big change heading into the next round. We'll see how that works out. Now, I do want to mention the leaders in the Teams Championship. That is currently Aston Martin, as they lead away in the Constructors Championship, followed by Haas and Mercedes. That is the top 3 in the Teams Championship for the start of the season. Now, perfect time. We are ready to go. The grid is readying up. We can see the clock at the top of our screens counting down to 0 as we prepare for the Miami Grand Prix. We are ready to go for another phenomenal race here in F5. Of course, Austria was exciting. Let's see if Miami can equal that or even do better. But I do want to mention, thank you guys so much for your patience in letting us get the grid all set up and making sure that we have everything in place for the upcoming Miami Grand Prix. We are ready to go. We're ready to go here at the Hard Rock Stadium in Miami for the second round of F5, already into the second round. This is season 31, 30 run seasons of PSGL, and we are good to go for many more seasons to come. But of course, we're focusing on this season. It's going to be a phenomenal one. And of course, round 2 is about to get underway. And we are ready to go. I think we're just waiting for a few drivers to confirm their status. And there we go. There's the clock at the top of our screens. We'll get a formation lap, and then we'll head straight into the race. So that's how that's going to work out. I'm just going to quickly get the tires and everything we need up on screen as well. Once I get to the lobby here. But yeah, here we go. It's going to be an exciting race here in Miami. I think it's going to be incredibly entertaining. The question is, will there be any crashes? I think there will be, just because it's a brand new circuit, a very technical circuit as well, and a tricky one at that. Now, the thing is that turn 1 is a very interesting turn because it's kind of hard to turn into, because it's kind of like it's a sharp right-hander, and then it immediately goes into a left, then a right. So another thing to point out here is that while turn 1 is a great place to turn, it is also very narrow as well. And the thing is too, is that if you're on the left side of the track, you're going to hit that curb. And that curb is quite dangerous, because if you get too much on it and accelerate on that curb, you're going to spin very easily. So we could see a spin of some sort at that particular turn, just from experience. I know it is very difficult to take it. As Bass Bremer has left the session, hopefully that is not a glitch of some sort. Hopefully he can rejoin before we get the race underway. But we will see. All right, so the formation lap is underway. I'm going to get the tires out on screen so we can see everything. And Mosey's going to lead us away for this formation lap. Thank goodness Bass Bremer has rejoined the session. We wanted to see him in the session because, of course, he is P3 in this race, and I'm sure he's going to be looking to keep that position. But yeah, we'll see how this all works out. A lot of side-by-side action coming up. DRS is not going to be enabled till lap 3, so we won't be seeing any passes with the DRS assisted, but we will be seeing some on-track battles because, of course, it's the start of the race. That's inevitable. But anyway, let's get ready for an exciting race here in F5 for round 2. A lot of drivers out on track. Mosey currently leading us away for the formation lap, and every single driver is starting on the hard compound tires. Now, degradation is a little bit high for round 2 compared to other tracks, like, for instance, Austria last time out. It is quite extreme compared to the Red Bull Ring. So that's probably why the hard tires are the preferred tire for these drivers. And I'm sure that they won't be using too many of the soft compound tires either. I think the best tires will be the hards and the mediums. So we're coming through that chicane now, getting ready for the Miami Grand Prix here in PSGL with the F5 division. I'm Formula Jonah, your commentator. If you guys want to check out my YouTube channel as well, it's called Formula Jonah, and that's where I do a lot of my content on motorsport. So definitely check out that, and definitely subscribe to PSGL if you guys have not already. It really helps out the league. But anyway, here we go. No more waiting around. We are ready to go for the second round of the Season 31 Championship here in F5. I hope you all are strapped in and ready to go for the exciting action here today at the Miami International Autodrome. It's going to be an exciting race here in Miami, Florida, as we prepare for this Grand Prix. It's a short way down to turn 1. So we'll see who is going to lead us away, but it is a right-hand turn, so Luca might have the opportunity to go down the inside on the Ferrari into turn 1. Will Bass Bremer get involved in this, and what about those two McLarens? Will they be able to try and challenge the top 3 here into the first couple of corners? We're about to find out, because the formation lap is over. The 29 laps await us, and that first lap is going to be crucial for everybody here today in the F5 division. We are ready to go. 18 drivers line up on the grid for the second round of the Season 31 Championship. And we are just waiting for those lights to go out as we prepare for this race. Oh, a little bit of a glitch there. There we go. As it is fiber lights out, and away we go for the Grand Prix here today. And it's a very good start for the front runners. I'm not sure what happened to Mosey. He's further up the table. Luca is trying to challenge the Ferrari, who's trying to go back into this position. A little bit of lag there, but the Red Bull and the Ferrari are still side by side, coming into 2. And it is Mosey that leads us away. Vince into 3rd now. Bass Bremer is down to 8th. Not a good start for the Alpine driver. The McLaren has now moved into 3rd. Smalley up to 4th. Very good start for the the Alfa Romeo driver as Mosey leads us away after a little bit of a laggy start for the Ferrari driver. He still leads us away. Luca in second. Vince is P3. Smalley and Lars complete the top 5 here today in Miami. Coming down that long straight down to turn 11. Who's going to keep ahead? The Williams of Trappy Formula is looking for the move on Victor, who's moved up to P8. Very good start from the Aston Martin driver, but he's now getting overtaken by the Williams of Trappy Formula. We'll also see a battle going on for P11 as Bas Bremer from 3rd on the grid has dropped to a 12th position. Make that 13th position. Bas Bremer is dropping places like crazy. Now he's got his teammate Alex Gamer now going into 13th position. So unfortunate to see that, but up the field we still have Mosey leading us away by 0.6 of a second. What a gap he's got to Luca already. Vince in the McLaren is now under pressure from Smalley in that Alfa Romeo. Let's run aboard with the Italian team as Smalley looking to the inside line. He's not going to make the overtake. He's too far back on that McLaren driver, but he's looking for the overtake on that McLaren, trying to get the better traction out of 17 and into 18. As Victor and Trappy are looking to go side by side as well. I think Kev is trying to get in the action. Trappy trying to defend the inside line. Kev is looking for the overtake. He goes to the inside line as the Williams is also trying to make the move on Victor and the Aston Martin. Kev looking for that opportunity. He's going to go to the outside line, which turns to the inside for turn 4. And the Alfa Romeo is just going to stick behind, but this battle is going to continue on for many more laps as Kev still on the back of the Williams of Trappy Formula. And the Alfa Romeo is going quite well as both of them are in the top 10. And I think this might be our closest battle we are seeing. We also see, I think we're, okay, hold on a second. I think that's a little bit of a glitch. It's showing that Bas and Julio are a minute and 30 seconds off the lead. So that's quite surprising. I think that is a glitch because they are not. But Catterson, what happened to Catterson? Down to 16th position. Not a great start for the Williams car. And really is down to 16th from, I think it was around 10th position or so. So not a great start for the Williams car as he's now trying to make his recovery drive. So coming down to turn 17, about to start lap 3 where the DRS is about to be enabled. But that won't matter for Mosey because he's got the gap to Luca. He's got the 1.1 second gap to the Ferrari driver. And that is a serious gap to the Red Bull. So very surprising. He's now sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. Mosey absolutely flying out there in the Ferrari car. And it's now Vince looking for the overtake on Luca. The McLaren is now going to look to make the overtake on the Red Bull driver. Now DRS is now enabled. So Vince will have that opportunity to make the move on Luca. Now, I do want to mention, if I was Vince, I would stick behind the Red Bull car, and I would use that DRS stretch down to turn 11. I'd use that DRS to close up to the Red Bull. I wouldn't try any overtake, and then once you're close, then you can make that overtake on the second DRS stretch, which is down to turn 17. So that's exactly what Vince is doing. I don't think he's going to make that overtake. He's too far behind, but he is using this as a closing zone to get right behind the Red Bull and try and make that overtake into turn 17. As we see some overtaking going on between for Ferrari and the Alfa Romeo. Oh, that is Slimbo off the track. As that was dangerous, but the Ferrari thankfully gets back on track. Catterson round as well in the Williams car. So something must have happened. I wonder if Catterson and Slimbo made contact, but the Ferrari went wide there and had to come back on track. But he is going to be in P16, which is a very unfortunate position for him to be in at this time as he wants to be closer to the top 10. But it is not going to be that way for the Ferrari and Williams drivers, as there's the Mercedes of Lakitu, as he's going to be looking for the overtake on Alex Gamer. Luca now has set the fastest lap of the race, and while we're focusing on that battle for around P14, Luca has closed the gap to Mosey, and he's got that gap down to 0.6 of a second. He is closing in on the Ferrari driver, so I wonder if Mosey pushed too hard, is now trying to save the tires for as long as he can, because Luca seems to have better pace on this lap. So the Red Bull driver will look to make the overtake on the Ferrari as soon as possible. 7/10 separating first and second position. Now, is Luca going to make that overtake into turn 11? I don't think so. He's too far back. He cannot make that overtake into the 11th turn of this track. but he has used that as a closing zone to the Ferrari driver. And will he have an opportunity down to turn 17? We're about to find out. And the crucial thing for him is to not make a mistake into this chicane. Let's see how this goes for both drivers. It was very good. A better getaway for Luca there. He got a better getaway off of the chicane. But it seems that Mosey had just got the edge off of turn 16 into the traction zone. You can see Luca spinning the tires a little bit. So I think he's too far behind to make that overtake on the Ferrari. Although he is looking for the overtake into turn 17, but he is just going to back off. He's not going to make that overtake quite yet. But he will have a very good opportunity to make it into the fifth lap of this race. But we will find out in due time. We also see a great battle going on for turn, for P12, as Bas Bremer has dived into the pit lane. And I do believe he has wing damage in the Alpine, so something must have happened. We saw a little bit of a spin, I think a half spin for the Mercedes. Lec 2 in the Mercedes is going to be down to 13th. Bas Bremer coming into the pit lane for that wing change and a fresh new set of medium compound tires, but he's going to be all the way down the order. Not a great start for Bas Bremer, who started third in this Grand Prix, remember, and he's down to last on lap 5. Horrible, horrible start for him, and super unfortunate as well, because it looked to be a great race after what was shown in qualifying. Slash is going around the outside of Victor. The AlphaTauri driver is looking for the overtake, and there goes Trappy Formula on the Aston Martin. The two are side by side into turn 12. We're coming through turn 13 now. And the Williams will just stay behind into the chicane of 14 and 15. But Victor is now going to be looking for the overtake on Slash. Will we make that overtake into turn 17? Let's find out. If there is contact further down the order, is that Catterson and Julio? I do believe it is. Julio's been given a 5-second time penalty for severe collision with Catterson. So I wonder if there was contact between the two drivers there, as both of them were off the track in a similar position. So the battle for 7th continues on. Victor is still 3/10 behind the AlphaTauri of Slash. He's using DRS, but he is just too far back to make the overtake into the first turn of the circuit. As we see Kev and Mentos in the Alpha and Haas having a nice little battle for the last points position in this race. Kev, hold on a second. Julio off the track in the Aston Martin. What happened to Julio there? Was that a spin off of turn 17? I mentioned earlier on in the qualifying part that is a traction zone. It definitely is a traction zone. And it is very difficult to come on the power at turn 17. Meanwhile, Catterson has pit, and it's not looking like the greatest race for Catterson, as he is down to the last points scoring, or the last position in this race, as he's going to be down to 18th and 10 or so seconds behind Bas Bremer in this race, which is, of course, not good for his chances of getting into the points scoring positions. So Luca, 5/10 behind Mosey. The gap hasn't really increased or decreased. It's kind of stayed the same, and pretty much throughout the entire field, all the way down to around 6th. It hasn't really changed. These drivers are all still in the fight for the win here, as it really is a 5-way fight for P1 in this Grand Prix. Luca still with a 6/10 gap to the Ferrari of Mosey, as Luca will be in second coming out of turn 1, but he has gained a little bit of time, actually. He has gained a little bit of time, down to 5/10, now back up to 6th. So I wonder if Luca is maybe just saving those tires, because I got the feeling he is, because the thing is that degradation is very high for around here. As we said previously, degradation is a little bit more high than tracks like Austria, but I wonder if Luca's just saving those tires to maybe make a push when Mosey is starting to struggle, because I think Mosey is still trying to keep ahead of Luca, thus also using up those tires a little bit more than he would have liked. That's just because he is in the race lead and trying to push as hard as possible, where Luca and Vince and the rest all have a DRS train, and they have the slipstream, so they're not pushing as hard on those tires. But it seems now, as I said that, Luca has started to gain a little bit of time on Mosey. He got the gap down to 0.4 of a second briefly, but I think he lost a little bit of time. As we see Slash off the track. What happened to Slash and the AlphaTauri? Down to 9th now. Victor, meanwhile, gets a 3-second time penalty. Slash is down the order. So something happened to the AlphaTauri as he's going to be in P9 and 2.6 seconds behind Trappy Formula. So that's not good news for Slash. The Williams of Trappy Formula is looking for the overtake on Victor. He is still right behind that Aston Martin car and is now looking for the overtake on the Aston Martin because now Slash is kind of out of this battle for the time being. So this opens the door. Oh, hold on a second. Vince is off the track. The McLaren of Vince is trundling down the order. Something happened to the McLaren, who was in 3rd position, is now down to 8th. Meanwhile, Lars has got ahead of Smalley. Wow, that is a change between all these drivers. So Vince is down to 8th. Smalley's moved down to 4th because Lars is now into 3rd. Lars has got up into the podium positions. He's gained 2 positions on that lap because Vince had that either contact or spin. And he's overtaken Smalley as well on that DRS straight down to turn 11. So looking really good for the Haas of Lars. And he's actually got a very good gap to Smalley now. He's got without the DRS to the Alfa Romeo, and so he has some clear air behind and ahead, and he's now starting to chase after Luca. So can we see Lars in the battle for P1 in this race? We'll have to find out. Luca is also 5/10 behind Mosey in this race. I think he's starting to put the pressure on the Ferrari now, and now is starting to say, I want this race victory. I want the lead of the Grand Prix here in Miami. And we'll see if he's going to be taking this. He's got the gap down to 5/10 of a second, and this is the closest he's ever been on, and now it's 4. Now it's 4/10 of a second. Luca is flying. He's right on board with the Red Bull Racing driver. And this has really been the closest he's gotten to the Ferrari of Mosey. 3/10 of a second. He is gaining time on that Red Bull. So it seems that Luca's got a little bit more downforce because you can see him losing time in the straight line. So that means that the Red Bull driver is losing time on that time in the corners, where it seems Mosey has got more pace on the straight. Now, I don't know that for a fact. I'm just kind of guessing here. But it seems to be that Luca is losing a little bit of time on the straights. And through the chicane as well. He's lost a little bit of time. That's unfortunate. But that is how it goes in racing sometimes. Meanwhile, we have Trappy Formula and Victor still having that battle for P6 now. Victor has actually started to gain time on Backy, and he might be able to get within DRS range, which would really help him out here to maintain 6th position, because currently he's got no DRS, where his rival, Trappy Formula, who's right behind that Williams, has the full-blown slipstream and DRS off the Aston Martin. Meanwhile, Vince is coming back through the field. He is trying to gain time on Slash as we see a yellow flag. I do believe that is Julio at the exit of turn 15 and turn 16. As he will come back out on track ahead of Ketterson, but he has lost a lot of time to the other cars out on track. As we see a very nice look at the McLaren and the whole Miami track here. As we're coming through that long turn 7, as we see the, it's supposed to be fake water, but it kind of looks like real water there. But it's all good. We still see the boats in the harbor there. As look at this, hold on a second. Luca has gained the time on Mosey. He's gained a little bit of time, 5/10 of a second. This is the closest he's ever been at this particular section of the track. But then again, he just loses the time through that chicane. He's just losing too much time in the chicane. So I think he's gonna have to make that overtake into the DRS zone at turn 11, because in all fairness, he can't gain time through that chicane and then get the power and the speed to overtake Mosey into turn 17, which would be right there. So in my opinion, if I was Luca, I would just go and try and make that overtake into the DRS zone at turn 11. So we'll see how this works out for Luca, though, as he's lost a little bit of time to Mosey. Now, while we're talking about this battle, oh, hold on a second. I'll come back to what I was saying in a moment. We see a yellow flag. I do believe that is Bas Bremer, who is struggling for pace in this race, as the Alpine has made a spin similar to Julio, I'm assuming, because it's the same place on the track. And I'm assuming it is that chicane that has made him have some sort of spin. But yeah, what I was going back to is this battle for P1. There is an alternative, I guess, situation to this this battle here. Now, Luca could either overtake Mosey out on track, or he could do it in the pit lane, because we are starting to approach the pit stop phase in this race. Now, if Luca goes for an undercut, as Julio has retired from the race, could this just help out Luca and Mosey to give them a safety car? Yes, it has. It has given them a full course safety car, and we have gotten one on lap 11. This throws the door wide open for pretty much anyone to pit, and now this has really helped out Mosey, because otherwise Luca would have get in the undercut strategy here. So we'll see how this works out. The question is Mosey going to pit, or is he going to stay out? Will anyone pit? Because the hards can still go for more laps. But let's find out. Mosey coming around turn 17. There's the Ferrari. He is going into the pit lane. Luca is following. Lars is doing the same. I'm assuming Smalley will do the same. Backy, pretty much everybody is going to pit. Yep, every single driver is pitting. So they have decided to get rid of those hards, put on a medium compound tire, and take those tires to the end of the race. I mean, let's see here. They might go for the two-stop, actually. They might go a hard, medium, soft, which would be very interesting, but that actually might work here. Unless the mediums can make it to the end of the race, which I don't know. And to be honest, viewers, the update has kind of changed my perception on how strategies work in this game, because it's a little bit different. So I need some more experience on how the strategy is going to work for these drivers, particularly here at Miami, since this is a brand new track. So anyway, the safety car has ended. Or sorry, the safety car has just come out. The safety car will end in the next 2 laps. Mosey will lead us away from Luca and Lars. That is the top 3 currently. And then it is Slimbo and the Ferrari, who's actually stayed out. So both Ferraris are in the top 5. However, the second Ferrari that's in the top 5, Slimbo, is on the hard compound tires. Now, what could he be planning here? Could he be going for a one-stop of a possibly hard to medium later on, or could he be going hard soft? Is that actually a possibility here? He would need to take those hards to at least lap 18. He'd probably have to take those hards to a lap 18, lap 19. At least give him 10 laps on the soft compound tires. I think any longer could be pushing it, but it is still possible. So, in my opinion, I think Slimbo should definitely go a hard to soft strategy. Of course, that depends on his tire wear. If he has higher tire wear, he might want to pit onto the medium compound tires a little bit earlier, but we'll find out. So the Mercedes safety car will be going in most likely on the next lap after this one. And we will get the racing underway once again here in Miami on lap 14. So pretty much everybody has pit onto the medium compound tires except Slimbo, who's on the Ferrari, who's on the hard compound tires, and he's driving the Ferrari, and he's on those old 12 lap old hards, and then also the drivers that are down in the bottom half of the grid, and that is Bas Bremer, Katterson, and Sanvuda, who have all stayed out. Actually, as I say that, Katterson is coming into the pit lane, so he has decided to come into the pits, most likely onto the mediums. Let's find out. And it is softs. Interesting. Very interesting strategy from Katterson. That is the first time we've seen the soft compound tires in this race. Now, viewers, what do you think about this strategy? Katterson onto the soft compound tires. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think the softs can go to the end of the race. Because, I mean, from lap 13 to lap 29, the softs? No, I don't think, though. I don't think they can go to the end of the race. So, with that in mind, what is Catterson planning here? Is he planning to just full-on push to a point where he's going to have to pit for another soft compound tires, or is he seriously going to think about pushing these softs to the end of the Grand Prix? To be honest, I don't know. I think the first suggestion that I made is probably the most likely, but we'll find out. So it looks like Catterson is the final driver that will pick up the safety car. Ooh, so we see Mosey have kind of a half spin there coming on the power. Maybe trying to warm up those medium tires there, as Catterson will come to the line just in time for the safety car to come in. Now, will Mosey surprise everybody, go early on this safety car and go at turn 17? He's preparing for it. He's preparing to go on the exit. Look how much he's closing that gap down. Look how much he's going to kind of slow that pack to get ready to go on the exit of 17. I think he'd go a little bit faster if he was going to go on turn 18 or turn 19. But let's find out. Will he go on the exit? Will he wait a little bit longer? The Ferrari's weaving up those tires, getting ready to go, and he goes now. Mosey leads us away, and he exits turn 18, leading this race by 7/10 to Luca. That was a very good start from the Ferrari driver. Smalley and Slimbo swapping positions there, as to be expected, because Slimbo is on those hard compound tires, Smalley on the fresh new medium compound tires. Smalley leads us away from Slimbo, but it is the top three that have kind of broken away now. Lars is actually closed up to Luca quite a bit. There is now around a 5 to 6/10 gap to Luca, so Lars could be looking to make that overtake on the Red Bull driver as well. Let's find out. And we'll see how this battle goes for P5 as well, because I think Backy is going to be looking for the overtake on Slimbo. What about Victor as well? Could he get in the action? And Trappy Formula, even Slash in the second McLaren of Vince as well. Let's see. Here goes Backy, round the outside of the Ferrari driver, coming into 12, down into 13, into turn 11, as the Backy goes round the outside at turn 11. Victor trying to push the Ferrari to the inside line, as Victor's going to try and go and make that overtake, as there goes Trappy Formula. Trappy Formula around the outside and gets ahead. He took advantage of the battle between Victor and Slimbo and saw an opportunity and went for a great move from the Williams, as the Aston and the Williams move up into 6th and 7th. Slimbo down to 8th now, and now under pressure from Slash in that AlphaTauri, who's now looking for the overtake on the Ferrari driver, coming down that pit straight. Into 17 we come. Slash is pulling to the inside line. He's gonna have to make it. He's gonna have to make this overtake if he's gonna be in contention for the top 5 in this Grand Prix. Slash makes the overtake on Slimbo, gets ahead into 8th. Very good overtake from the AlphaTauri driver, and now moves into 8th position. Next up for the Ferrari to hold off is the McLaren of Vince, as meanwhile we see a good battle going on here for, I do believe, 14th position. That's the Williams of Catterson on the soft compound tires, using those softs very well to try and overtake a lot of these drivers. He's trying to go round the outside of Alex Gamer, who's still trying to hold off that Williams driver. Catterson stays in 14th, but they're still side by side. Oh, and there's contact. Oh, and both Alpines have contact. Both Alpines have made contact. Bas Bremer is out of the race, and that is a virtual safety car that has been called out on track, and that is devastation for the Alpine team. Alex Gamer and who was it? Alex Gamer and Catterson made contact, and Alex Gamer spun, and Bas Bremer had nowhere to go to avoid that, and just went straight into his teammate. Horrible day for the Alpine there, and they'll be having their hands in their laps there. Is, wow, super unfortunate for Bas Bremer, who had a great qualifying session, really phenomenal qualifying session, qualified 3rd on the grid, and the race just has been, there's no other word to put it, terrible for the Alpine driver. It has been a very difficult race for Bas Bremer, and I feel so bad for him, I really do, because he was pretty much an innocent bystander there. He couldn't really do anything. He was already turning into the corner, and the Alpine spun was right in the middle of the track, and that's that, really. So, unfortunate to see that, but that is how it goes in racing sometimes. I'm sure he'll come back stronger at the next one. So, I think our closest battle is the battle for 5th position. Victor on the back of Backy, and I think he'll be looking to make that overtake on the McLaren as soon as possible. DRS has now been enabled, so this is very good news for Victor, who's going to look to get into the top 5 in this Grand Prix. Vince is also looking for the overtake on Slimbo. I think that's a nice little battle going on there. Lakitu in the Mercedes is 3/10, now 2/10 behind Kev, so he could be making that overtake as well on the Alfa Romeo. And Vincent Slimbo side by side. The Ferrari is overtaken by the McLaren, and Vince will get up into 9th. I think Slimbo just starting to fall back a little bit too much. That's just because of those hards. It's understandable though, because the medium compound runners are just so much more quicker than those hards that Slimbo's running, which are 15 laps old. But I'm sure he's trying to take those to at least lap 18 to put onto the softs, which should be pretty good for him. But we'll see. So Mosey is now under pressure from Luca. Luca has closed the gap, and this is really the closest he's ever been to the Ferrari driver at that particular stage, but he loses a little bit of time. He loses time into that corner. And I've noticed that Mosey is getting a little bit more power off of the turns, so I'm not sure who's gaining where, who's gaining not, I don't know. What exactly is going on? Oh, hold on a second. Alex Gamer has spun. What happened to the Alpine? I do believe he just maybe got on that turn 2 curb that I was talking about earlier on. That could be the case. Oh, hold on a second. Mercedes. There was a Mercedes off the track. That is Lakitu. And he's going to be down to 14th. Meanwhile, Kev is looking for the overtake on Catterson. Rally outside goes the Alfa Romeo car. On the Williams, into turn 11 we come. The Williams will just stay ahead of that Alfa of Kev. And Catterson will stay ahead for now. But Kev's actually got damage. Kev has damage. I wonder if there was contact between the Mercedes and the Alfa Romeo. But that is severely going to hurt his... Oh, and that is Mentos in the Haas off the track with no wing. Is that going to be a VSC? I don't believe so, but that is a spin for the Haas driver. Meanwhile, the battle for first is getting incredibly intense. We are now on lap 17 out of 29. Now lap 18 out of 29. Around 11 laps remain of the Miami Grand Prix, and it's coming down to a 3-way fight for the race lead. How epic can this get? As these drivers will be looking to challenge for the race lead here from Mosey, who has led pretty much the entire race here. He's led from start to finish. Well, so far start to finish. So, he is... Oh, hold on a second. What's going on with Slimbo, who's down the order in the Ferrari? And that is a spin for the Ferrari driver at turn 4, I want to say. Meanwhile, Alex Gamer retires, and that is the second Alpine out of the race. It has been a very... difficult day for the French marque as they are down into the bottom half of the grid and out of the race. But yeah, going back to this race, Mosey is led from the first lap to lap 18 as Alex Gamer does leave the session there. Luca in P2, Lars in P3. Will Luca look to make the overtake on Mosey? We will find out. Lars also running a great race, really, in P3 right now, looking not just for a podium, but a win as well. Riding on board with Luca in that Red Bull. Oh, he gets a little bit too much on the power there. You can see a slight spin for the Red Bull driver, and he's going to lose a little bit of time to Mosey there. And Lars could be making that overtake very soon on that Red Bull. But Luca has got the gap down to 0.4 of a second. If he can hold this gap into turn 7, then this might be a very good opportunity for him to make the move on Mosey into turn 11. But we'll see. Into 7 we come. Luca has actually 0.3. 0.3. Here we go. This might be the opportunity for Luca. This might be it. DRS enabled. And let's see if he's going to do this. He, I'm sure, has got the DRS online. As he's looking for the overtake, he gets so close to the Ferrari, but he's just too far away. If he had a few more, if he had just a little bit of a longer straight, he could have made that overtake, but look how close he is into 13 and 14 and 15, into 16, 0.3 of a second, 0.4 of a second between Mosey and Luca. Gets a little bit on the power too much, but it's okay. He's got the gap to 0.4 of a second. Can he use the DRS? Is he using any DRS? No, not quite yet. I think he's just too far back to make the overtake on Mosey, but he gets closer every single lap. He gets insanely close. Look at Lars, though. Look at Lars in that Haas, 0.2 of a second behind the Red Bull. He could be going for this overtake anytime soon as well. But Luca, how close did he get? That was probably the closest lap he got to the Ferrari. Now the question is, will this lap be even closer for the Red Bull? 0.4 of a second separating first and second position. 0.3 separating second and third position. This is absolutely coming down to the wire. Meanwhile, the battle for fourth is getting quite intense as well. Smalley under pressure from Baki, Victor, Trappy Formula, Slash, and even Vince. It is a very good battle going on here for fourth position, but we have to keep an eye on the battle for the race lead, as this is the most intense. This is for the podium. This is for the Miami Grand Prix victory. Mosey has led the last 20 laps of this race, but can Luca make an overtake on Mosey and take the lead of the Miami Grand Prix? As Mentos now sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix, a 129.3, very good lap time from the Haas driver. He is on the softs though and starting to chase after Lacuto and Slimbo as well in the Ferrari. Lars is on the back of Luca. Look at this battle forming quite nicely here. Luca 6/10, now 5/10 of a second as Lacuto does retire from the session at turn 7. That is a full course safety car that has been deployed, and this is a great opportunity for some drivers to come into the pit lane onto the soft compound tires. And this could change everything. This could change the entire race and bring a very different result to this race. Who is pitting? Mosey stays out. The top 3 all stay out on track. Smalley pits. And Baki as well. Same with Slash. This is interesting. Very interesting. I expected pretty much everybody to come into the pit lane, but it is only pretty much the half. It's only half of the grid, really. So that is incredibly surprising, as everybody is pitting onto the softs. As this is the perfect opportunity for some of these drivers to come into the pit lane. Speaking of perfect opportunities, this is a great opportunity for Catterson, as he's now ended up in, I think, 10th position on the soft compound tires. He had to pit at some stage, and this is perfect for him. So this has worked out really well for the Williams driver, who has had a difficult start at the Grand Prix, but has turned it around quite quickly and could be in for some decent points scoring positions. So we'll see how this works out. So look at this. The top 5 has stayed out on 9-lap-old mediums, which will soon turn to 11-lap-old mediums once the safety car goes out on track. And Smalley down to Mentos have actually come into the pit lane. The only driver in that pack that is not is Slimbo, who did come into the pit lane onto the mediums, I think, a lap ago. So he has got fresh new tires as well. So this has changed everything. So hear me out here. The top 5 might not look like that by the end of this Grand Prix. The reason being, Smalley, Baki, and pretty much everyone down to 14th is on fresh new soft compound tires. And they don't really have to worry about tire degradation. They can fully push on those softs, and they could rise up into the top 3 in this Grand Prix. So this could be a very interesting end to the race. While this battle for first, second, and third has been incredibly exciting, we could see more cars join the fight and possibly be faster towards the end of this race. This is going to be entertaining. This is going to be one of the best ends to a PSGL race that I've personally commentated on. Now, I do want to mention a quick fact here about real Formula One and the Miami Grand Prix. And of course, this is a totally different thing, but I have noticed something here. In the real Formula One world, Charles Leclerc qualified on pole for the 2022 Grand Prix. He led a few laps of the race, but then Max Verstappen in the Red Bull overtook the Ferrari and won the Grand Prix. Notice something similar here. Mosey and Luca, kind of a similar situation here, but Mosey has been incredibly good. You know, he's been defending incredibly well, keeping that gap. So we could see a different result here, but I just noticed that, how this is a fight here. And if it ends up like that, it will be a very similar situation to how it was in the real 2022 Miami Grand Prix. Just something I noticed there. So Mosey in the Ferrari will be P1, followed by Luca and Lars. That will be the top three of today's race. And they will lead us away on lap 23, I do believe, because the Haas of Mentos has still not been able to catch up to the Mercedes safety car. And he will most likely join the pack on the next lap, and then the safety car will come in on that lap. This is good news for the top five, actually, because this gives them more time to not worry about the soft compound runners who are going to be flying through the pack when we come to the final few laps of the Miami Grand Prix. Okay, so safety car is not coming in this lap. It will have one more lap, and then we will get the racing underway here for the Miami Grand Prix. Will Mosey win this race? Will it be Luca? Will it be Lars? Maybe Victor, Trappy Formula, or any of the soft compound runners? To be honest, this could be anybody, really. This could be anyone. However, we have seen Mosey really do a great job today. He has been defending well, and I think he possibly could defend against those soft compound runners, because the soft compound runners still have 4 cars to overtake before they get on the back of Mosey. So, I don't know. Can they do it in that time? We're about to find out. So the cars come through turn 7 as we overlook the Hard Rock Stadium, where the Miami Dolphins actually play. So that is a quick fact about that particular stadium. Also, I want to mention that this track is 14.9 miles from downtown Miami. So downtown is about 14 miles away, and the track is here. And they built it away from the downtown because if it was in the downtown, well, it'd be kind of a street circuit. It'd be more of a street circuit than just an actual circuit. And we're seeing Mosey coming around, warming up those tires, getting ready for this final few laps of the race. Safety car in this lap. Mosey warming up those tires, getting ready for the start of this race. And what will be the last restart of this race. Lars has been given a 5-second time penalty for collision with Victor. That is going to change the race results, and that might put Lars off the podium, possibly putting one of the soft compound runners or even Trappy Formula up onto the podium as well. So this could change the whole result, but let's focus on the action right now. Mosey coming around. Will he do a similar restart to what was the previous safety car? And he actually goes early. He goes early this time. Clever tactics there from the Ferrari driver, and he's going, he's going now. He is going now. He leads us away from Luca. Lars on the back of Luca. Lars is right there and looking for the overtake on the Red Bull car. Smalley and Trappy make contact. A little bit of contact between the two, but Smalley gets ahead. Backing now, looking for the overtake as well. Round the outside comes the McLaren car as they go side by side into 5, 6, and 7. Trappy just gets ahead of the McLaren car. Very good overtaking there from Trappy there, and great try by Backy as well. Slash in the fight as well as we come through turn 8. Coming into 9 now. Look at the gap Mosey's got to Luca. 1.2 seconds. What a gap he's got. And that might have just solidified his race victory here in Miami. Victor's also looking for the overtake on Lars as well. The Aston Martin is looking for the overtake on the Haas. Smalley in the Alfa Romeo looking for an overtake on Victor and Lars too. As we see the Alfa Romeo coming through, Trappy Formula in the Williams is still in the hunt. Right now, Smalley will be getting the podium. Right now, he is in the best shot of getting third position in this Grand Prix. Lars looking for the overtake on Luca. And I think the win might have just been sealed as Lars is now putting Luca under pressure. Victor in this fight as well. And I'm not sure if that penalty for Lars will be taken off. I don't know, as Kev is round. And Victor gets another 3-second time penalty, so that's going to really affect his racing as well as and his results, of course. As Backy and Slash actually are having a great battle here. Slash is right in the back, looking for the outside line of the McLaren car. He then turns to the inside and stays behind the McLaren for the time being. And Vincent, the McLaren, is on the back of the AlphaTauri as well. Could be going for an overtake here. Catterson in that Williams, back in the hunt here for a top 10 position. And he could be going for this anytime soon. I think our closest battle is Smalley versus Victor, though. Yellow flag as Kev is off the track in the Alfa Romeo. That is at turn 6. Something happened to the Alfa Romeo car. As Slash has now been given a 3-second time penalty. That's going to put him off the top 10, I do believe. So Smalley's got a gap of 0.4 of a second to Victor. The Alfa Romeo is closing in on the Aston Martin. As we see Lars looking for the overtake on Luca. Is he extended on the inside into turn 17? No, he does not. He stays behind the Red Bull for the time being as we enter lap 26 of this Miami Grand Prix. Around 3 laps to go in this race. And Luca is falling off the order of Mosey as Luca's now 2.3 seconds behind the Ferrari. That is unfortunate. But it is all good. You know, he still is looking for that podium. Could be getting second position unless Smalley is able to overtake these cars, because Smalley is looking for that overtake on Victor. I think he's going for a second position in this race, and that would be a very good position for him. And I'm sure he'll be very happy with that once we interview him. As we see the Alfa Romeo using a little bit of ERS, using DRS as well. And remember, he's on the fresher compound tires than the Aston Martin and the faster ones at that. This has to be an overtake, I think. Is he going to send it to the inside? He's looking for it, but does think better of it. He cannot make the overtake on the Aston Martin so far. And he's going to try, though, down into turn 17. You can see him having a lot more grip than the Aston Martin car. And that means he's able to close up quite a lot on Victor. Yellow flag, that is Sanvuda in the AlphaTauri who's off the track. So Sanvuda will exit in P13. Meanwhile, Smalley and Victor side by side. Smalley down the inside of the Aston Martin. Victor is trying to... Oh, there's contact, actually. Victor is round. Victor is round and off the track. And this is not good news for the Aston Martin car, who's down to 12th now and out of the top 10. Unfortunate to see that. Was there contact with Smalley and Victor? I'm sure the stewards will be looking into that one, as Sanvuda in the AlphaTauri will move down the order. 5-second time penalty and out of the race. Unfortunate to see that. Victor will be pitting as well, and oh dear, with about 3 laps to go in the race, it just didn't end well for Victor, as he's going to be down to 12. So from highs in Austria, from winning the first race, it is going to be lows here today in Miami, unfortunately. Meanwhile, Smalley has got the gap to Lars to around 0.8 of a second. He's got around 2 laps to make the overtake on Lars. Will he be able to do it? I mean, even if he does, there's not really a need. As we see Slash and Backy swapping positions. Slash up into 6th now, and looking for the overtake on Trappy Formula. So good news for Slash here, as he's looking to increase his his gap to the cars behind because he's got that penalty, which is going to affect his racing position. Now, another driver that's going to get some good points for the team is Trappy Formula. And actually, Williams as a whole are going to be getting some good points. Although Slash is looking for the overtake on Trappy Formula. Is he going to move to the inside line? He's looking for the overtake. He's going to send it. Yes, he is. He's going down the inside. Into 17 we come. And it is the AlphaTauri that gets ahead for the time being. Trappy trying to come back at him, but he stays in 6th position. Slash will stay in P5. And if he didn't have that penalty, he would be into the top 5 comfortably. Meanwhile, Lars has got the gap down to 0.2 of a second, and Smalley has got the gap down to 0.5 of a second. So the Alfa Romeo definitely going for 3rd in this race, unless anything else happens like a spin or some sort. But he is in a great position to get P3, even if he doesn't overtake Lars. But I'm sure he wants that on track. He wants P3 on track, because it would be great. Meanwhile, the Ferrari of Mosey has really extended his gap to the rest of the pack and has got the gap to Luca to 3 seconds on lap 28. It has been a very good race for him, and he's going to take P1 in this race. We'll comment more on him in a moment, but we want to keep our eye on this battle for 3rd position right now. Smalley could be going for this overtake on the Haas, and if he's going to be going for 2nd position, this is his opportunity. He has to make the move into turn 17 if he's going to make that move on Luca. I don't see any other opportunity, but he's just too far back. I don't think he's going to be able to do it. Either way, he's going to get 3rd here, or at least on the podium. But still, I'm sure he's going to try and go for 2nd. So Mosey starts the final lap of the Miami Grand Prix for round 2 of season 31 for the F5 Championship. What a commanding victory this is going to be for the Ferrari driver. He's just got one more lap. Of course, anything can happen on this final lap. But look at the consistent drive he has pulled off so far. It would be a very big shock if something were to happen, but I don't want to jinx anything. I'm just going to leave it at that. Mosey doing a great job right now. You just got a few more corners to go, and then you will be the Miami Grand Prix winner. Victor now sets the fastest lap of the race. He sets a 1:29.1. Very good lap time from the Aston Martin driver, showing that he's definitely got the pace. And I'm sure he'll come back in the next one and look for the race victory there. Will anything change for P2? Slash looking for the overtake. He's actually got up to the battle for 3rd now. Is Smalley going to try and go around the outside? I don't think he's going to want to risk anything just because if there's contact. I think he just wants to stay in this position so he can guarantee P3 in this race. So Mosey coming along that straight. What a commanding victory this is going to be. He started on pole with a very commanding lap time, and he has done an absolutely amazing job here in Miami. He has led from start to finish. Mosey round the final couple of corners. He's going to savor every moment, and he's going to win the Miami Grand Prix in here for the F5 division. Mosey is your winner. Luca is P2 for Red Bull Racing. Great result for him in this race. Smalley on the podium for Alfa Romeo. Great result. Catterson up to 4th position. What a result for him after a difficult race. Williams grabbed 4th and 6th in this race. What a Grand Prix for them. Backy's P5 followed by Slash, Slimbo, Vince, and Lars, who's going to be down to 10th position after that penalty. Mentos and Victor and Kev complete the 13 drivers that will finish this Miami Grand Prix, but it is Mosey that wins the first ever Miami Grand Prix here in season 31 of F5. What a result for him. He is winning here in Miami. He really defended that one great against Luca and the other drivers as well. He played that really well, and it is from start to finish for Mosey. All right, here's the podium celebrations. It is Ferrari on top here in America for the Miami Grand Prix. It is Mosey that wins it, followed by Luca and Smalley. Those are the three drivers, Alfa, Red Bull, and Ferrari on the podium here in Miami, Florida. So here's the results for the Miami Grand Prix. Mosey is your winner. Started on first, finished first. Luca started second, finished second. And it is Smalley from seventh on the grid to third. What a result for him. Catterson, P4. What a commanding recovery drive for Catterson after a difficult start to the race. Backy, P5. Trappy Formula in sixth position. Williams gets some great points here in Miami. Slash is P7 alongside Slimbo in the Ferrari. Ferrari gets some more points from the second driver as well. Vince on the McLaren scores P9 with Lars completing the top 10 for Haas. And Kev actually got the fastest lap at the end of the day as well. 128.674 was the fastest lap for the Miami Grand Prix. But here is your winner, Mosey. What a result for him here in Miami. Great result, great race, really awesome race, and some great overtakes, great action. We had a few safety cars as well, which bunched up the field and brought everyone back into the fight. So that was awesome to witness as well. So pretty cool. But now we're going to head to the showroom here so we can get everyone's cars out on screen, and we are going to interview our top three drivers for this race. So that'll be awesome to hear from everybody here today for the Miami Grand Prix. And we're going to start off with the Alfa Romeo of Smalley. We're going to get all three drivers in here. So give me a moment while I quickly do that. I'm going to put myself on mute while I quickly get those three drivers in, and then we'll begin the interviews. Okay, so I've added our three drivers. We should be seeing them join any moment here. Of course, I'm sure they're celebrating as well, so they might not be able to join. Let me see if they are real quickly. Let me quickly see. Alrighty, so we're just gonna wait for our drivers to get in here. Give me a moment as I'm trying to get them in. Trying to see if they're able to join. And if not, that's totally okay as well. But let's see if we can get them in. So give me a moment here. We'll give them, I'd say, a minute or two, and if they can't, that's totally okay. And if we get a driver or two, that's totally fine too. So let's see if they can. But yeah, what an awesome race. Truly an amazing one here in Miami. It's awesome to commentate on the Miami Grand Prix. And to be honest, viewers, first time commentating on Miami. So what a way to do it, you know. And I hope you all enjoyed that one. It truly was awesome to commentate for you guys. And I can't wait to be doing it for the rest of the season as well. And I can't wait to be joining with my my other commentator, Evil Dragon, I do believe, as hopefully he'll be joining in the next one in Belgium. But we'll see as we see, I think one of our drivers join. Awesome. So I think we... Hello there. I think we have Luca in here, viewers. So, Luca, are you able to do an interview?
Yeah, I've a bit of time left, so yeah, of course.
Great. Okay. Well, we'll make this short. Okay. So this is our second place finisher for the Miami Grand Prix interview with Luca for the race here in F5. Luca, what a race from you! You put up a great fight with Mosey there for the race victory in Miami. Just talk us through how your race went.
Yeah. My race was absolutely horrible. I had a sound bug, absolutely extremely. I couldn't even hear my engine, so I wasn't even in a fight with Mosey. But I think the pace was quite good. And quali I bottled it, but I think everybody could drive faster. But I think Mosey's time was absolutely amazing, so I'm not sure if I could beat it.
Well, we could see in the race that you were starting to close up to the Red Bull, to the Ferrari driver. Were you trying to save your tires towards the early part, or were you trying to put the pressure on the Ferrari car ahead?
To be honest, I only was driving my race, so I could do anything. I had the sound bug, and I think it's impossible to drive fast. So I was driving for my own the whole race.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear about that sound bug. It can be quite annoying, you know. I've had that in a similar race, and it was very difficult to drive. But yeah, you still survived to P2. I mean, like that's pretty cool, you know. I think you were able. I think that's your best result of the season so far, right?
Yeah, it is. That's
awesome. Yeah, so congrats on P2. Great results, even if the race seemed a little difficult, you know. I hope that you'll be able to put on a similar performance in Belgium next week.
Yeah, I also hope so.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us here in the interview box. I do believe we have our third place finisher, Smully Balls, in the Alfa Romeo. I'm going to switch to the Alfa Romeo so we can get that car on screen. Welcome to the interview box, my friend. How are you doing? As you finished third, you put on the softs, and you went on a charge towards the end of that race. Just talk us through how your Grand Prix went.
Well, it was alright. It didn't feel like I had much pace around it, as I dropped out of the DRS quite a lot of times, but I had a good start, got up a couple positions, and then, well, it was just staying in the DRS for most of the race. And then when I made a couple of mistakes, but got lucky with the safety car.
Yeah, that safety car was perfect for you. You know, it's interesting to see that you were like one of the first drivers to come into the pit lane. Were you always expecting to come into the pit lane if a safety car would come out?
I wasn't really thinking much about the safety car, because I could tell before that I dropped out of DRS again, but I knew back he had high wings, so I was keeping him quite far back down the straights, which was very good, and I could have probably done that for the rest of the race and been happy with fourth. But yeah, the safety car came out, I was like, oh, might as well gamble it, and most other people did that as well, apart from the top 5, which was very good for me. But the soft tyres didn't feel very overpowered compared to those old mediums, but by the end they were a little bit better. Like I was pressuring in Lars throughout the whole last lap.
Yeah, you definitely were trying to go for that P3. Were you looking to also try and get P2? I saw that you didn't have any penalties, so even if you didn't overtake Lars, you would have been third. But were you trying to go for second as well?
That was probably out of my range. When Lars lost DRS near to the end, I thought it was going to be like mission impossible, to be fair. But yeah, I'm happy with third. I think Lars will probably get his pen removed, so it'll be short time lived for this podium. But I'm happy with fourth. Scored no points last race because I spun late on the race. But yeah, happy to be fourth and get some decent points in the championship.
Well, yeah. Right now you're currently third. But if you are fourth, either way, you have absolutely deserved the position that you got, and you put on an absolutely amazing performance today. So just congrats on that, and hope to see you in Belgium.
Yeah, I'll be there every single race. So.
Very good. All right. Well, yeah, thank you again for joining us here in the interview box, and have a great day.
Yeah, thank you very much.
No worries. Well, viewers, I think that concludes everything. Our race winner wasn't able to make the interviews. That's all good, though. No worries. I think that pretty much concludes everything here today from the PSGL F5 race. Thank you all so much for watching the Grand Prix here in Miami. Truly a privilege to commentate on such a big league like this, and I hope to see you all in Belgium next week for round 3 of the F5 Season 31 Championship. So again, thank you so much. I've been Former the Jonah, your commentator for the F5 division. I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye.